critical moments about this album.
Oh shit.
Well, I mean, it was as a whole. We've talked about it in Gene's and Ace's episode so far, and we'll talk about it in Paul's. But just touch on it lightly.
We'll talk
This
about it in
was
whose?
Paul
Paul.
Stanley's.
Paul.
Paul Stanley's.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm Paul Stanley. This album is part of the mega release that they did, releasing 4 albums on the same day, making history, and all the merch machine that went with it, the matching format of the covers and the paintings. And Peter's, I still do. I love Peter's album cover.
You love Peters.
The wisp. I'm going to ignore that. The wisp of the gray in his hair and his bandolero and seeing his cross. And I just kind of noticed. I actually took a picture and I'll send it to us later. On the cover of this 8-track, it's like you can't really see it here, but it's like there's more of it. It's like it goes down further. So it's like whatever's kind of cropped off on the album, it goes down further on the 8-track. But I used to love looking at this, just seeing the color of the skin under his eye, where just like that part, the part that the women put the black eyeliner on, where Peter don't have it, and Peter's makeup is one of those where you can see the texture of the makeup on. You can see the texture of the white and the texture of the silver and the satiny look of the black going around his eye, and you see some of the even wrinkles in his face. Really great painting. All 4 of them really great. But at the time that these albums came out, Peter was my favorite member of the band. He's a drummer. I was a drummer, or still am a drummer, and he's still a drummer. And my sister, her favorite member was Ace, and so I celebrated Ace too. We used to pretend we were Peter and Ace, and just have like these little concerts and conversations, like we thought Peter and Ace would talk with each other. Being 8-9-year-old kids, and but this album, all of the albums are critical to KISSTORY because good or bad, however you view them, good or bad, mistake or not mistake. They changed the landscape for Kiss in a lot of ways, even though it was kind of the beginning of the end. And I saw it posted where I saw Chris Jericho's. Did anybody see Chris Jericho's podcast where they were talking about the solo albums? One of the guests or one of the people on that podcast said that their theory was that one of the persons said, well, these were put out to try to appease Ace and appease Peter to keep them in the band, and and that these were but that's not really so true, because if you look at the timeline, they actually all started recording them at different times, and a couple times they said they made the decision to record them during Phantom, but that's not true, because I think Peter and Paul and even Gene had already started recording. The last person to start recording their album was Ace, and then this other person said, "Well, I think that," and I kind of maybe possibly see that this could be true, but that the general consensus on his show, I think even Jericho said it, was that Gene and Paul wanted to do these albums to kind of put Peter and Ace in their place. That they felt like that they were more important, that they would have better albums, and that forcing Peter and Ace to do solo albums because they hadn't written like most of albums worth of material before for an album, where Gene and Paul had, written probably close to 7-8 songs out of 10 songs. They thought that Peter and Ace was going to fall on their faces, and it kind of backfired on them with one of the members. Not really so much with the other. The other one, they might have proved their point. The other one, they might have proved their point a little bit. But and the other person said, that they fully believed that that's what it was for. Me, I think it was just for the same thing that they did double platinum for, or what they did Alive for. When they signed their new contract coming off Alive 2, when they were coming off of Alive, when they signed their new contract, they released 3 single albums. Then they released Alive 2. Well, a double album counted as 2 releases. So, and solo albums, it was actually solo albums were mentioned in their contract that 2 albums counted as 1 release. So between Alive 2, they they fulfilled 2 albums. Double Platinum, they fulfilled 2 albums. And between the solo albums, they fulfilled another 2 albums. So they fulfilled 6 albums, I think, on a 10 album contract between just a handful of releases.
I think I totally agree with you, because I think I remember hearing somewhere that in '77 Bill Coin mentioned solo album.
Mm-hmm.
So it was way before the Phantom story, I think, was invented by Gene.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I think it was just, hey, we've got 10 albums to freaking get out of this contract, and these guys are on self destruct mode. And so I think I think Gene, and of course, Gene and Paul to this day think that they had the better solo album. Gene thinks his is the best, Paul thinks his is the best. Because whenever they were critiquing each other back then, they're like, Peter, he might have missed the mark. Ace, it's a solid effort. I think one of them gave Ace's albums like 2 stars or something like that. Maybe Gene or Paul gave albums like Ace's album like 2 out of 5 stars. So Gene and Paul themselves didn't have a whole lot of nice things to say about Peter or Ace's album. But I think it's critical that that this album came out. Hold on a second. Here. Y'all never, ever, ever, ever get to see this, because she don't often come around.
Gosh.
She don't often come around. She kind of reminds me of a little Strutter boy.
Baby.
This is my old lady. She's 10 years old. This is my Dixon.
She doesn't look a day over 4.
Yeah. And see, Rick, the way she's looking right now is exactly how she looks when I pull my camera out. Her tail goes stiff. She stiffens her body up, and then she just kind of looks around like, what are you doing to me right now? I just came here to see if you had snacks.
He's got liver mush.
Yeah, liver mush. She does. She loves cheese. Whenever she sees me with cheese, she will sit right at my feet, and I'll usually drop some for her. I pay the cheese tax.
The cheese tax.
Yeah.
The cheese tax.
But anyway, I think that this is just like any of the other Kiss albums. It's critical to the catalog, good or bad. It's critical to the catalog. What about you, AJ?
You want my opinion?
Yes.
Yeah. As time has gone on, I like it. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I joke a lot. I fuck around a lot, but when I first heard it, I deliberately destroyed it. But I was probably 5 at the time, so I had Kiss Alive 2, and I had Peter and Paul's. So Paul's was really cool, and Peter, I'm like, what the hell is this? This is not what I was expecting. So from what I remember, I deliberately destroyed it. But as of now, I do like it. Is it critical to anything, in my opinion? I'm just going to jump ahead and be like, no. But it is what it is. I don't mind it, and I kind of like it now that I'm old.
When I first heard the solo albums, I went in blind because there's no internet, so just buying everything on CD. Peter's was the last one I purchased, and as a teenager, I didn't like it. I was kind of like you, Aaron. The only track I liked was "Don't You Let Me Down." Yeah, that was the only track I liked, and that was always my go-to if I ever listened to the CD. as an adult, I freaking love this record. It's got such a good vibe to it, like a rainy day,
Yep.
Good times TV show, venturing into Saturday Night Fever vibe with like "You Matter to Me" and stuff, and then just some killer ballads. And it is my number 2 favorite of the 4.
Damn. That's saying something.
As a standalone release, if you take the Kiss logo off of it, he can keep the makeup on the cover because it looks fantastic. Of the 4, the colors on this pop, that green pops so much.
Yep.
But as a standalone album, like I said, take the Kiss logo off of it. It's fantastic. It really is. I mean, from top to bottom, it's like you guys said, rainy day. It kind of brings you up, brings you down. It's got the ebbs and flows of just a good record. It's not a Kiss record.
Right.
Even though it has the logo on it, it's not a Kiss record. It's not a good Kiss record. When I've done rankings, I've ranked this, if I include the solo albums, this is always the last. But I always make a point of saying, it is a good record. It's just not a Kiss record. But of Peter's solo albums, it's the best.
Yeah, I agree. All right.
You want me to jump ahead? No.
Do you want me to? No. But hey, I give AJ credit. At least he said he likes it.
Yeah.
It has good qualities.
Yes. But not a Kiss record for sure.
But not a Kiss record.
Right.